All-Star voting ends tonight at 8 p.m., so make sure you log on quickly and vote for Jose Bautista. We want to make sure he's a starter in the outfield, and that's where he deserves to be. He's currently in third place in the voting, but you know Texas is going to make a big push tonight. So get online, cast your votes for Jose Bautista. Make him a starter in Kansas City. Take a look at the Red Hot Angels, and they are red hot. They've won 13 of their last 14 games on the road. Mike Trout, Torrey Hunter, Albert Pujols, the cleanup batter. Pretty interesting. You got a young cleanup hitter with all of these great sluggers, but Mark Trumbo has taken over that role. 313 for the season against the Blue Jays. He's had a great run, and he'll look to continue swinging a hot bat against Brett Cecil.
Third start of the season for Brett Cecil. In his 2 starts since being recalled, Brett has given up just a couple of hits in 11 innings. The Blue Jays have won both of those games. He's given up just 3 runs in those 11 innings, so very good ERA at 2.45.
There's a first pitch strike to the aforementioned Mike Trout. Trout's 20 years old. He leads the American League with that 344 batting average. He's also hit 7 home runs. Good breaking ball, and Cecil's ahead 0-2.
Cutting the ball just a little bit more in his 2 starts since being recalled from the minor leagues. Throwing more strikes. He's talking about just smoothing his delivery out. Just stay nice and smooth.
Second ball hammered to left field. Kobe Rasmus breaking it down in front of the warning track. Gets there and makes the catch. First out of the inning.
Take a little scouting report on Brett Cecil, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He'll try a little bit of everything. His fastball topping out about 88 or 89 miles an hour. Change up at 81. He's got a very good difference in miles per hour between the fastball and his changeup. Something that he's going to need. You can see every pitch is pretty much distributed perfectly. Batting average of 244 against this year.
Torrey Hunter, the right fielder, takes the strike. Torrey Hunter is a veteran that has moved into that number 2 spot, and it's really helped him turn things around for his season. Whether it's Mike Trout hitting ahead of him or Albert Pujols behind him, whatever it is, he's swinging a hot bat. Broken bat, caught by Escobar. What a catch. Great focus by Yunel Escobar as he stayed with that ball. It sounded like he broke his bat, but Escobar never gave up on it and makes the second out of the inning.
Didn't think he had any chance at playing this ball off the bat of Torrey Hunter. He's got a great jump on it. You're right. Because the ball was hit off the end of the bat, it wasn't hit that hard, and that gave him a couple of extra steps to lean out, stretch out, and make the second out in the inning.
Now Escobar done a good job. Takes one away from Torrey Hunter, and that Cecil has 2 quick outs. That's the way you want to face Albert Pujols. 2 outs, nobody on. Blue Jays saw Pujols early in the season, and he was really scuffling. He hadn't had a home run until he finally hit one against Drew Hutchison in that series, but he's got 12 homers now, hitting .260.
Started to come out of it a little bit back in April when we saw him. Defenses are really overshifting against Pujols this year. He hit a couple of balls hard in that series and just didn't have a lot to show for it.
Pio down at first base, and the first base umpire Mike DeMiro calls Pujols for the swing. It's 1-2.
There's the shift that we were talking about. And we saw the Blue Jays play their shortstop and third baseman almost a couple of feet away from each other. This time a little bit more straight up on that.
Curveball, and Brett Cecil has a perfect start to his ball game. That dead hook gets Albert Pujols. The Angels go down in order in the top of the first. Cecil punctuates it with a strikeout of Pujols. road trip, and top three in the order have really done a job. Laurie, Rasmus, Bautista. Over his last 23 games, Bautista's hit 13 home runs, driven in 26, and has an OPS of 1.188. Edwin Encarnacion batting .286. Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, Rajay Davis continues to do a good job in left field. Lynn's at first base, and Jeff Mathis behind the plate against his former team, the Angels.
It's a lineup that Dan Herron will face tonight for the Blue Jays. Herron has been struggling a little bit lately. He's given up 14 runs, 27 hits over his last 3 starts. That covering 16 2/3 innings. He has raised his ERA now to that 4.24. Give up 5 runs in 5 innings his last time out, but still got the win versus the crosstown Los Angeles Dodgers last time out. Always very tough, but it's very foreign to see him at 5-7, a record under 500. Now 15 starts into the season.
Yeah, Herron's always been one of those guys you count on for 15 wins a season. Brett Laurie takes that cut fastball up and away, and we're going to talk about that cut fastball as this game goes on. I think that might be a root of the problem for Dan Herron. Laurie at 290. There's that fastball on the outside corner. Ball and a strike.
Herron has always had great command. He led the American League in strikeouts per walk ratio last year.
On the ground, Ibar waits for it, couple of steps, and guns across the diamond in time.
Let's take a look at Dan Herron's scouting report now. He throws the cutter, look at that, 38% of the time. You add that with his fastball at 37% of the time, so he uses that a lot. He's got the splitter and a very good curveball, but that cutter for him, maybe it has started to rob his velocity just a little bit. He says, you know, velocity is not the biggest thing for me. Location is more important to me with that velocity. It's been down from the 92 range last year, down to more like 88 or 89.
There's a slider for a strike for Herron against Colby Rasmus. Rasmus averaged at 264. Well, he has done a great job. He just looks like a hitter now. You can see how relaxed he is. He's more upright at the plate. He's not hunched over, bent at the waist. He just looks like all he has to do is wait for that ball to come in his zone, and he's going to wear it out.
He's giving himself a chance to get the bat out in front in a good position with everything behind it.
Well, he's pulled foul.
Balance is so important, I think, as a hitter, as a baseball player, as an athlete. And earlier this year, Colby Rasmus did not have very good balance at the plate. Every time he swung the bat, it looked like he was off balance and just couldn't get his solid footing underneath him. Now he's a little bit upright, his feet are a little bit closer together, and it's hitting everything.
Big bouncing ball to second. Howie Kendrick for the out. 2 ground ball outs for Herron. Jose Bautista, number 25 for Bautista, came yesterday at Fenway Park, and it was dramatic against John Lester.
It was a record for the Blue Jays, and it was fun to watch also because it crushed a car right on the roof in that parking garage behind Fenway Park.
13 home runs in the month of June. That's a 1-month record for the Blue Jays franchise. Jose Bautista stands alone. Bautista showing bunt, and that's the last thing on his mind, I'm sure.
And Alberto Cayespo, the third baseman, says, "You want a bunt? Go right ahead. I'll give you a single." There he is. He kind of was shaking his head after that.
Off the outside edge. That's the biggest turnaround for Bautista since he's gotten hot, is his ability to lay off those borderline pitches. Early in the season, he was chasing an awful lot of pitches off the plate. Even taking that borderline pitch, it wasn't one he wanted to hit.
So how do you do that? How do you start eliminating that? I think you look for certain pitches in certain spots. Bautista, you can't hit everything. Cito Gaston was real big about that, about you can't hit every pitch. So let's eliminate some, especially early in the count, and sit on certain pitches. Let's sit on a fastball, or let's sit on a breaking ball, or let's sit on a ball on the inside part of the plate, and things are going to happen.
3-1. Bautista popped it up. He just missed another homer. This ball is popped up behind shortstop. Iber is there, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Dan Herron. After one, it's scoreless with Rogers center.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
It is a beautiful night here in Toronto as you see the boats moving along Lake Ontario. Roof is wide open at Rogers Center, and the Blue Jays are happy to be home. First game of 8 on this homestand. The Blue Jays will then head to Chicago and wrap up the first half of the season. Brett Cecil starts out Mark Trumbo with a good hook for a strike. Trumbo is the DH tonight. He played first base last night. He and Pujols have been going back and forth in that department. Trumbo's 18 home runs. That leads the Angels. Jeff Mathis is behind the plate for Brett Cecil. He knows the Angels very well. He spent parts of 7 seasons with the Angels, made his debut in California in 2005, so he knows everything about this team.
Certainly he knows all about their hitters. He knows how to call a game.
Trumbo gets tied up and pops this one into the seats.
And I was talking to him the other day about his style behind the plate. What are the kind of things you want to establish early in the game? And one of the things he said I found very interesting, he likes the pitcher to show all of his pitches early in the game, first or second inning. Whatever you have, show the hitter what you have. So maybe we can put a little doubt in the mind of the hitter of what pitch we're going to go to when we need it.
Bouncing ball, big hop for the shortstop. He drops it and stays with it. Escobar dropped the ball, but fortunately it bounced right back up to his bare hand. He was able to throw out Trumbo.
Not sure where that ball hit him. Maybe at the fingertips. Yep, he started to close his glove just a little bit too quickly with that big arm. Well, if Escobar is able to make the out over first.
Well, he's got a great arm. A lot of people don't realize what a strong arm he has, but he was able to throw Trumbo out after bobbling the ball and just gunned it across the diamond. Now the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. This is a good ball club. When you start looking at the players position by position, they have all-stars or potential all-stars just about at every position.
Athletes. They have athletes all over the diamond. They have so many athletes. The last time we saw them back in April, they had more players than they had positions for.
At that time, they had Bobby Abreu. Vernon Wells was healthy. They couldn't find playing time for Peter Borges. Mark Trumbo and Mike Trout had to alternate games they played. But with Wells coming back from thumb surgery, Abreu's gone. Now the team is a little more consistent. Howie Kendrick gets jammed and hits the lazy fly ball to Rajai Davis.
Well, it gives Mike Scioscia, the manager of the Los Angeles Angels, an opportunity to put the same lineup out there every day. Before, remember that when we were out there, Mike had Trout playing in center field one day, he had Borges playing, he had Vernon in left field, then he DH. We saw Mark Trumbo in 4 games start 4 different positions for him.
Started him right, third, first, and DH. And that's tough. I don't care if you're young or old. That's tough when you're doing something differently every night, because you have to worry about the responsibilities with the glove as well as what you're doing with the bat. Alberto Callaspo hits one high and deep to left, and Rajay Davis will watch this one sail into the seats. Callaspo's 5th home run of the season makes it a 1-0 game here in the top of the 2nd.
Callaspo, we have seen him over the last couple of years just wear out the Blue Jays pitching staff. If he's starting or if he's coming off the bench, if he's playing different positions, this guy just has great numbers against the Blue Jays. Fastball on the inner half, and switch hitter turns on that one. Batting right-handed against Brett Cecil.
It's a red-hot team. The Angels had 33 hits in 2 games against the Orioles. And as we mentioned before, they've won 13 of the last 14 games on the road.
Yeah, they lit up Jason Hamill last night for the Baltimore Orioles. Scored 13 runs off of them.
Eric Ibar, the shortstop. Take a look at this home run ball off the bat of Callaspo. He makes a great catch and then realizes, hey, there's nothing to celebrate here. You guys can have the ball back. That's an Angel home run. Well, Callaspo's 5th of the season, and the Angels lead at 1-0. Ibar reaches for it and fouls it back.
But I agree with you about this team. This is a very dangerous team, the Angels. And you only knew it was a matter of time before they got it all clicking. They've got starting pitching, they've got relief pitching, they've got good defense, power, speed. It's a very complete ball club.
And they went out and added some free agents in the offseason with Pujols and C.J. Wilson. 1-2. Strike 3 call. Tom Hallion rings up Eric Ibar. 2nd strikeout of the night for Cecil. The Angels have taken a 1-0 lead. Cleanup hitter Edwin Encarnacion with 22 home runs will start things off. Kelly Johnson and the shortstop, Yunel Escobar. First, the Angels are here, and you'll get a chance to see them on Sunday. Come on down early and enjoy the pregame street festival. It happens outside Gate 10. That starts at noon. There'll be a licensed area, live music, fun, interactive games. Come celebrate with the Blue Jays. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations.
I believe they are closing down Bremner Boulevard, and they're going to have that street party. I believe that opens at noon, and the game is at 3 o'clock.
Right.
So can have all kind of fun before the ball game on Sunday.
Great way to celebrate Canada Day with the Blue Jays, and it'll be game 4 of this 4-game series, and there will be a party outside gate 10. So come on down early and have a great afternoon. And excuse me, tap into the seats. What a gorgeous night it is here at Rogers Center. Lots of fans on hand. Everybody having a good start to their long Canada Day weekend.
Herron just mixes it up. He throws his curveball. He's got that cutter that we talked about. He adds and subtracts with his fastball. And he just stays away from those right-handers.
Really been interesting with Dan Herron. Right-handers have given him trouble this year. They have a .341 average against him, and that's unusual. He has always been about 50-50, average about 255 to 260 against righties. But this year's a different story. Encarnacion does a good job to start things off here in the bottom of the second.
He was talking the other day, Herron was, about velocity. He says the last thing that any pitcher should do is try to add velocity. And I agree with that. Because he said location is much more important than velocity. Where you throw the ball is a lot more important than how hard you throw it. And right now, he and Brett Cecil are thinking along the same line. Just keep the ball down in the strike zone. Doesn't matter how hard you throw it.
Kelly Johnson hits the ball toward the gap. That's got a chance to get down. It will. It skips onto the warning track. Encarnacion is getting the stop sign at third. Kelly Johnson drives one to the gap for a double. Blue Jays have something cooking here in the second.
Kelly Johnson is a good low ball hitter, and I think that's where he needs to look for the baseball. Down, the type of swing that he has, tough to get on top of it, but when it's down, it's right into his swing path. This time he smokes it to right center field. Only the great speed of Borges, the center fielder, is able to cut this ball off, stop the ball from going to the warning track, and that keeps Edwin Encarnacion at third base instead of scoring. If that ball gets by him, he'll be able to score.
Second and third, nobody out. Escobar looks at one down and away. Kelly Johnson had a home run taken away from him yesterday in Boston. Darnell McDonald went up over the bullpen wall and brought a ball back in the ballpark. Johnson was pinch hitting in the 8th inning. Mike DeMiro, the first base umpire, said that Escobar did not swing. It's 2-0.
And Dan Herron was asking the home plate umpire, Tom Halyard, where that one was. He was wondering if it was down or if it was off the plate. Just trying to get a feel for the strike zone tonight.
On the ground, Encarnacion is headed home. Escobar picks up the RBI, and the Blue Jays have tied it. Leadoff walk once again comes right back to haunt Dan Herron.
For a guy who doesn't walk too many batters, the leadoff walk does very quickly come around to score.
So it's all even here, and quickly, boy, Encarnacion's walk, Johnson's double, and Escobar picks up the RBI. His 23rd of the season. Rajai Davis takes his strike. Boy, Herron has really shown already in this ballgame he's going to work the righties away. He is confident that he can just locate that fastball and the cutter on the outside corner.
I might show you a couple of pitches on the inner half, but that's where he's going to live. Down and away.
How do you counteract that as a hitter?
I think you can get on top of the plate. Again, he doesn't throw like he did just a few years ago when he was 93, 94. It's more like 88, 89 miles an hour with his fastball. And I think you can think about hitting the ball the other way.
And you got to make sure you get a strike. That breaking ball was off the plate, down and away. Aaron's ahead 1-2.
I was talking to Rajay about facing the different type of pitchers. As you see Adam Lind on deck, from the right-handers, he likes the ball in, where he can do something with it and pull the ball. So he's got to really stay off of that breaking ball away.
That pitch right there, and it's difficult to do with 2 strikes.
And you have to have the discipline, and you can't overcommit too quickly and try and pull the ball with 2 strikes. Against left-handers, Rajay says he likes the ball away, where he can try and do something with it. Still feels like he can pull the ball on a pitch away.
Righties have hit .341 against Dan Herron this season. Another pitch spoiled. And I don't care how good you are, if you locate pitches away and you never throw anything inside, good hitters are going to pick up on it.
They're going to pick up on it. They're going to start shooting the ball the other way. That's why we were talking about you have to at least show them inside some point. Something in there, and it doesn't take a whole lot. You don't have to throw it at 95 miles an hour to lock up a right-handed hitter.
Going away. Davis stays alive. It really becomes problematic for hitters if a right-handed pitcher throws a pitch or 2 inside, and then that outside pitch appears to be even further away.
But if you keep pounding the ball away, that hitter starts setting his sights out there, and it's almost a given that it's going to be out there. You can just punch it to right field.
Davis hits it hard into center field, but Peter Borges has a bead on it. He catches it and gets it back to the infield. 2 down. Dan Herron has been around. He made his debut in 2003, and this is his 3rd season with the Angels. And he has pitched very well against the AL. He's 54 starts. He's got 26 wins in those 54 starts, and good numbers across the board.
Great ERA, a very good whip. And take a look at the strikeout to walk ratio. That is 6 strikeouts, almost 7 strikeouts per 1 walk. So if he's around the plate, he knows how to pitch, he knows how to move the ball in and out, up and down. Last year he led the American League in that ratio at almost 6-1.
Interesting meeting. The pitching coach Mike Butcher came to the mound with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. They've got Lind, the left-handed hitter, at the plate. And I would imagine Butcher gave Herron the opportunity to pitch around Lind. Left it up to the pitcher to decide how he wants to attack the lefty. Boy, that was a great pickoff throw. Not so much the timing, but where he put the baseball, right on top of the bag at second.
Ibar barely had to move. I think the Angels and the Rays are the 2 best teams in baseball that use all of the plays that you can use defensively. A pickoff play at second, the sneak behinds over at first, the wheel play, the defensive bunt plays. You practice those things all in spring training all the time. And then the season comes along and you never use them.
Yeah, everybody forgets about them.
Yeah.
And then you haven't done them so long, you're afraid to put them on because they'll mess it up. Adam Lind, the first baseman. Then he had a pair of hits in Tuesday's game. He made his return as a pinch hitter on Monday night and just missed hitting a home run. This one's off the end of the bat. Herron will jog toward first and flip to Pujols for the out. Now the Blue Jays get a run on a hit. Leadoff walk comes around to score. We're knotted up at 1. broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. We came all the way from Calgary, and now you are on TV. So hello to everybody in Alberta watching. Canada Day weekend, a lot of fans from out of town in to enjoy the great festivities around Toronto. Putting a 4-game series against the Angels. Peter Borges, the center fielder. Well, you talk about a tough outfield with speed and range. Trout, Borges, and Torrey Hunter in the lineup tonight for the Angels.
They make you earn your doubles, don't they? I mean, you got to keep the ball low when you're hitting it into the outfield. Any error underneath it, those three are going to run it down, especially this guy right here in center field. He might be the best in the American League in center field.
0-2. That ball ran off the plate inside. Tom Hallion likes that big breaking ball. Caught the outside corner. That's 3 strikeouts already for Brett Cecil.
He had the last 2 with that backdoor curveball. He said he's spinning a better breaking ball lately as Brett Cecil. He's doing a couple different things on the mound. He's turning just a little bit more, and that's keeping him over the mound and letting his arm catch up. So that curveball hides it just a little bit more. He's cutting the ball a little bit more. And with all these right-handed batters in the lineup tonight for the Angels, just keep throwing that curveball out there.
Bobby Wilson hitting a .187, but he has had a lot of success against Brett Cecil. It's this ball high and deep and well foul into that 5th deck. Launches back onto the field. But Bobby Wilson is 3 for 6 with a pair of home runs against Brett Cecil.
Stay away from him.
Keep the ball down.
Keep it down, keep it away. Wilson likes to get the head of that bat out and try and pull the ball.
Another 0-2 pitch. Trying to catch that outside corner again. Tried to throw that one a little too hard.
Yeah, you could see Jeff Mathis, the catcher, really point to Brett Cecil as he was going into his windup that I want that ball down here. Keep it down here and keep it away. Let's see if we can bury one in the dirt and get Wilson to swing at it.
See Mathis watching Bobby Wilson, making sure he doesn't take a peek back behind him. And how about that? Back-to-back strikeouts here in the top half of the 3rd inning.
We saw this the last time Jeff Mathis was behind the plate. He caught Aaron Laffey through 6 shutout innings in Boston. Mixing and matching, going a little bit harder, following up that curveball with a fastball to get the strikeout. He just knows how to call a game and really use his pitcher's strength.
And it takes a while to really get to the point where you can call a game and handle all your pitchers. Mathis certainly has had experience, and he's worked with some great pitchers. Dan Herron and Jared Weaver. A lot of guys that have really developed into premier pitchers in the big leagues. Weaver threw a no-hitter earlier this year, was strong last night, picking up the win.
You know, it takes time. You have to recognize what the strengths are of your pitcher that night. But Cecil's got a good curveball tonight. He's got a good feel for it, so he is using it a lot against these right-handers. Here, Laffey, he was like, here, I need strike 1 against the Boston Red Sox, and he would set up in the middle, and Laffey would hit him with that fastball, and he'd pitch ahead the whole night.
Another 0-2 pitch for Brett Cecil. Upstairs. Vernon Wells standing next to Mark Trumbull. I'm sure that everybody has leaned on Wells a little bit to get some inside knowledge about the Blue Jays pitchers. Mike Trout bounces it through the left side into left field. Trout hit a pretty good pitch. Might have been off the plate inside, but he put it in play with 2 strikes.
That's where you want that cutter. You want it right towards the back shoe of a right-handed batter. That time it was a little bit up, and he's able to pull it into left field. Good pack control. And now he's got some speed at first base.
Trumbo leads the American League in steals. He's got 21 steals. Trumbo, I said Trout, of course. Mike Trout, 21 steals at first, and he's got a big lead. Not only does he lead the American League in stolen bases, but he leads in batting average as well. 345 average with that base hit. Beltre, Canerco, Mauer, and Alcides Escobar of the Royals. We'll see Escobar next week when Kansas City's here for 4 games. Ball outside. 1-0. That first pitch that Cecil threw, Tom Hallian had called time as Brett Cecil was just holding the baseball. Again, Cecil was ready to deliver the pitch, and Hunter had asked for time.
And now takes a look down at Ebel to find the signs, wanting to know if Mike Trout has the steal on. Always nice to know if you're the hitter if it's going to take off. You now can have the choice. If it's a breaking ball, just let it go and let him steal. If it's a fastball, something you like, hey, let's see if you could try and score him with an extra base hit.
As effective as Trout has been in steals, he's only been caught 3 times. You'd think Hunter would give him a strike to run on. Mike Trout, just 20 years old, leading the American League in hitting, and has led the resurgence of the Angels. Two and 0.
This is where just the threat of a steal over at first base can really separate the pitcher's concentration. There's 2 outs. Forget about him. That guy at the plate is the important guy. Just like that, you're behind 2-0. Now you've got to come into him.
And that is the bonus of having a speedster at first. You got a power hitter at the plate in Torrey Hunter. Hunter has 10 home runs, and now he's got the count in his favor where he can really be selective.
Yep, and he's hot. We're talking about him since he's moved into that number 2 hole, hitting almost 370.
Good off-speed pitch, and Cecil is back in the count at 2-1. Right here, Cecil just really has to focus on Torrey Hunter. You've thrown 3 pitches. You're behind a very dangerous hitter. Make sure you make a good pitch here to Hunter, and Trout isn't really a concern.
Yeah, what he does over there doesn't matter if you make a good pitch.
He did. He pops him up. Bautista came in. Now he takes a couple of steps back, and Brett Cecil gets out of the inning. He gives up a 2-out single, but leaves a runner stranded. Rogers customers have more ways to watch Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season long from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. A little kayak class out there on Lake Ontario. What a great night it is for that. Jeff Mathis takes the first pitch upstairs from his former battery mate, Dan Herron.
Hitting the ball a lot harder this year. More extra base hits.
High and deep to left. Jeff Mathis has just left the yard. Home run, Jeff Mathis. His fourth of the season, and the Blue Jays are out in front.
12 hits now on the season for Jeff Mathis, and that's his 7th extra base hit. 4 home runs and 3 doubles. He knows a little something about Dan Herron. Watch him stay back on this off-speed pitch, and he knows he can break it down because he knows he got enough of that one to get it into the bullpen and over the fence. Breaks the tie.
Blue Jays home runs have really come in bunches. They're one of just 2 teams in the big leagues that have over 100 home runs. Jeff Mathis making his contribution. Blue Jays hit 18 home runs in the 9 games on their road trip.
More home runs than doubles this year. The only team in baseball that can say that.
Brett Laurie grounded to shortstop his first time up. Blue Jays have now hit 110 home runs. The Yankees at the start of play have hit 117. A couple of potent teams. Difference between the Blue Jays, Yankees, and the Red Sox. The Red Sox lead the majors in doubles. And they'll keep you in the soup with their doubles. Jose Bautista with his 25 home runs. That leads baseball. Bouncing ball. Callaspo got a tricky hop. With 1 out, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Johnny Damon's 4th home run of the season. He's playing in left field for Cleveland, and that Cleveland Indian team, they just won't read the clippings. They're 2.5 back. They won't give up. Chicago certainly got a boost when they picked up Kevin Youkilis. The White Sox have a 2.5 game lead over Cleveland in the AL Central.
Certainly helps that they're in the Central. Cleveland at 500, just 2.5 games out behind the White Sox.
Rasmus hooks it well foul. Yeah, the AL Central Tigers are just kind of hanging around. They've lost 2 straight. They're 3 games under 500, but they're only 4 back. Kansas City Royals, we mentioned, they will be here starting Monday. They are 5 games back in the AL Central. Fastball on the inside corner. That's the first strikeout for Dan Herron.
That's a backwards K. Taking. Got a lot of slow stuff early to Colby Rasmus, and then he pumps that fastball in the inner half to pick up that first strikeout. He had a 14 strikeout game this season with Dan Herron 5 starts ago.
Jose Bautista popped up to the shortstop. That ended the first inning. Came on a 3-1 pitch, and he had a heck of a swing at it. Right there, Herron paints that outside corner. This one's driven toward right. Torrey Hunter checks out the wall, drifts onto the warning track, and the inning is over. But the former Angel comes through with a leadoff home run. Jeff Mathis, his 4th home run, and the Blue Jays lead it 2-1. to a slow start with the Angels. On May 4th, Blue Jays were playing. He was hitting 194. He didn't have a home run. He drove in 5 runs, and the team was 10-17. And since that time, he has heated up. 12 homers, 41 RBIs, and the Angels have gone 31-16 since.
Took an over on that day, that May 4th, and then did not play the next day. Remember, they put him on the bench the next day, then homered the last day there.
Obi Erasmus looked like he never saw that ball. It carried right over his head. He kind of drifted as if he was going to catch it. And Albert Pujols ends up at second base with a leadoff double. I don't know if Rasmus didn't see that ball, but it looked like he was just anticipating he was going to be able to make the catch, and the ball kept carrying and went over his head.
Let's watch him in center field. He goes back. I think he took a step in to begin with, and that really, to him, told him he was not going to catch that one, but he stays in the ballpark for extra bases.
So now Mark Trumbo. Trumbo's the DH tonight. He grounded a shortstop his first time up. Tying run in scoring position. Trumbo doesn't waste any time and drives it to right center. Rasmus looking up. This ball is gone. Mark Trumbo with opposite field power just flicked the head of the bat at that ball and knocks it into the seats. His 19th home run of the season.
On Tuesday, when the Angels were in Camden Yards, Buck, you know this, he almost hit that batter's eye in center field at Camden Yards. He's short hopping. That shows you how powerful that bat is. Not a full swing. He just throws the head of the bat on that outside pitch down and away, and the ball just keeps carrying and carrying. Number 19, trying to become the 10th Angel to hit 20 home runs before the All-Star game.
So the Angels have retaken the lead. It's 3-2. Pujols leadoff double. Trumbo with the 2-run homer. We mentioned this was a red-hot ball club. In 2 games in Baltimore, they hit 33 hits.
Much more power, excuse me, Buck, than what they had last year. Last year, it was more of a punch and Judy, first to third, let's bunt, let's hit and run type of attack. Well, they've added some big bats. Pujols. Trumbo had a big year last year as a rookie. He's a little bit better. Trout, the young rookie. This is a good offensive team.
Howie Kendrick, the second baseman. Bouncing ball wide of third.
You know, another player that was not on the team last year because of injuries, Kendrick Morales. He's on the bench tonight. He's a switch hitter. Good for 30 and 100 when he's healthy.
Well, you mentioned switch hitters. The Angels have 5. That's like having 3 extra players. There's Morales, who is finally healthy after a long battle coming back from that broken leg. 278 with 8 homers and 28 RBIs. Cecil set. Here's the 2-2 to Kendrick. Mike Scioscia can really juggle his lineup however he sees fit. Pujols, Trumbo tonight. It's Kendrick. Then you've got the switch hitter Callaspo, who's already homered tonight. Kendrick will take a walk. First 3 reach here in the top of the 4th. Leonard Wells and C.J. Wilson watching the action from the dugout. Wells told us tonight before the ball game, and he was about 3 weeks away. He had surgery on his right thumb to repair ligaments. Tore the ligaments running the bases when he fell down at second base after a slide.
Lost his balance, reached back, and his thumb went right up towards his forearm. Nasty.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Cecil reached at it with his bare hand, and Callaspo's 2 for 2.
Callaspo Callaspo, a .339 hitter in his career versus the Blue Jays, and he just keeps it going. That one looked like it got the index finger of Brett Cecil. Watch him as he tries to reach for it, and that's a reaction right there. Natural reaction to try and grab it or slow it down or something. It looked like it went right off his index finger.
Now, oftentimes you're hopeful of just grabbing it in the palm of your hand, and we've seen pitchers make that barehanded play before, where they get a good grip on it and can grab it barehanded. Eric Ibar, switch hitter as well, steps in facing Cecil. Blue Jays are in at the corners expecting a bunt. Ibar squares early and bunts it to third. Cecil comes off the mound, makes a good throw to first, and Ibar gets it done. His second sacrifice bunt of the season. We mentioned the Angels got off to a slow start. Texas was out and running early, but now just a 4.5 game lead for the Rangers over the Angels. Oakland is 2 games under 500. They played a lot better than anybody anticipated, and Seattle's been a disappointment once again.
Yeah, not a lot of hitting out there in Seattle. They got a lot of good young pitchers, but the Angels have won 24 of their last 32 games. That'll get you right back into the race, won't it?
How about Texas? They have 4 starters on a disabled list now. So if you think that the Blue Jays are the only ones that have been bitten by the injury bug, you're wrong. It's epidemic. The infield is halfway up the middle.
Blue Jays have a point system. 1 is all the way back, 2 and 3 are halfway, 4 is all the way in. This is their 3 defense right here, where the infield is about halfway, and they're going to read the ball and read the runner.
So third base coach Dino Ebel with some instructions to Kendrick at third base.
This is a good time to run that contact play when you've got runners at second and third. You try and steal a run right here, and if your runner does get thrown out at the plate, you still have runners at first and third. And if he can get in a rundown, that batter Borges, with his speed, he can go all the way to second base.
Two balls, no strikes. Driven into center field. Rasmus in shallow center. Kendrick tagging up at third. Here's the throw toward the plate. And Kendrick comes in and scores on the sac fly. Callaspo moves from second to third on the throw to the plate. It's 4-2 Angels.
You know, that's the thing about the Angels is they can beat you with power. They can beat you with the long ball. They can beat you with fundamental baseball. They can beat you with speed. That was a perfect example of it right there. Walk to Kendrick, a single, a sacrifice bunt, moves the runners up, a sacrifice fly, good situational hitting. And now Callaspo's over at third base.
Bobby Wilson, the catcher, batting ninth. He shows bunt. The infield was back, and he thought he'd take a shot. Roll the dice in if he couldn't get one down. Wilson's doing the majority of the catching. This is his 33rd start. Chris Iannetta, who was picked up from Colorado, still coming back from a fractured bone in his wrist. He had surgery on May 11th.
Wilson had a bunt single against the Blue Jays in Anaheim. That was in the 6th inning of the 3rd game. He had a bunt single. They ended up scoring 3 runs on 4 hits that day. So he's been known to do that.
Cecil is behind again, 2-0. Now 3-0. Leadoff man Mike Trout is on deck. Trout has got 1 for 2 already tonight. A 4-pitch walk. So there'll be runners at the corners, first and third, with 2 outs for Mike Trout. And before we have that, Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, has made his way from the Blue Jays dugout. We mentioned Mike Trout is just 20 years old. He came up with the Angels last year, but he is still a rookie. But when you look at the highest batting average by a 20-year-old through the first 75 games of their team, 1955, Al Kaline was in his third season with the Tigers. He was 20 years old and would go on to win the batting title in 1955. Travis in Washington did 360 through 75 games, and then Mike Trout right there at 344. Alex Rodriguez and Ken Griffey Jr. both got off to great starts in their rookie seasons. First 75 games with the ball club, but Mike Trout is in pretty elite company with that great start to this season.
Just 20 years old. That's hard to fathom when you watch him play the game of baseball.
Al Kaline won that batting title in 1955. He was 20 years old. That's the youngest player to win a batting title. Then in 55, Kaline finished second in the MVP voting to Yogi Berra. So certainly you would think that Mike Trout, with all of the great players around him, is going to have plenty of support should he hit a skid, and he's going to. It's just a matter of time, but well, he's got a lot of supporting characters.
Maybe got off to like a 1 for 11 this season. Started hitting and just energized the top of that lineup for the Angels, much like Brett Lawrie energized the top of the lineup for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, very similar situation. Mike Trout joined the Angels this year on the 28th of April. And since that time, the Angels have the best record in baseball. 36 and 19. The Yankees have gone 35 and 20, and the Giants have gone 33 and 23. 0-2, 2 outs. Appeal down to first base. Mike DeMiro said he went too far, and Cecil will strike out Trout. That ends the inning, but the Angels have scored 3, and they lead at 4-2. Edwin Encarnacion led off and scored last time up. Kelly Johnson had a double, and Yunel Escobar drove in the only Blue Jays run. Including a 2-run home run to Mike Trumbull. John Farrell looks like he's got a stern message for Brett Cecil. And it looks like he's saying, listen to Jeff Mathis. He knows this team, he knows the league, and he's got the experience. Farrell might have sensed that Cecil shook Mathis off, but Farrell's pretty emphatic in what he's saying. Obviously, we don't know the exact words what he's saying, but he was pointing to Jeff Mathis and say, this guy's been in this league for 8 years now. Pay attention to what he's doing.
You'd really notice if he shook him off too much in that inning. If Brett Cecil shook off Jeff Mathis, but you're right. That guy knows those hitters on top of being in this league a long time.
Well, and the thing is, too, just because a pitcher doesn't shake his head, that doesn't mean he doesn't shake off. A lot of pitchers will stare off a sign, just get a sign and not acknowledge it, and the catcher will go to the next sign and the next sign. Pitchers don't always have to shake pitches off. They can just stand out there and wait until they get another suggestion. But that was pretty interesting that Farrell had a message to deliver to Brett Cecil.
And he was talking about his catcher. That was obvious.
Encarnacion bounces it foul. Take another look at the end of the conversation, and Don Farrell once again is pretty demonstrative, and Brett Cecil certainly giving him his full attention. Off the glove of Ibar into center field. That'll be a base hit for Edwin Encarnacion. He's been aboard twice against Heron tonight.
Boy, he is locked in right now. Edwin. He almost undresses Ibar, the shortstop. Another pitch that is away, but close enough for Encarnacion to reach it. He creates a lot of topspin with that hit. Ibar would have been a circus play if he came up with that screamer.
Hitters talking about hits over there at first base. Ibar didn't have much of a chance. Kelly Johnson doubled to the gap in right center his last time up. Well, here's a guy they need to have a little more production from. Kelly's been scuffling of late, hasn't homered since late May. May 28th was his last home run.
Got off to a great start this year, pounding the ball the other way. And that is the pitch right there that has given him a lot of problems. That ball that's away, or the ball that's up and away. He's been swinging right through it.
He's in the hole 0-2. Aaron's upset by not getting that call, and you might not understand that, but when you set a hitter up for one pitch, you only have one chance to go in there.
Shot.
And he took a shot and thought he'd made a good pitch.
It was only an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and he was able to lock him up.
Comes back inside, and this ball is popped up. It's playable. Callaspo down from third makes the pitch.
Surprised a little bit they went back in there.
Yeah. And he beat Kelly Johnson, but he was disappointed he didn't get that call on the previous pitch. So there's one out now for Yunel Escobar. Escobar had a ground out RBI in the second. He drove in the first of the two Blue Jay runs. 4-2 Angels. These two teams split the 4 games out in Anaheim back in April. Great jump at first base, and Escobar gets a base hit. Encarnacion is headed for third. Boy, Yunel could put the bat on the ball. Encarnacion, it didn't look like a hit and run break to me. He got a steal break, and he got a good jump.
Angels do things a little differently. They have their first baseman play off the bag even with the runner at first base. I think it's a good time to try and steal, and I think that's exactly what Encarnacion was trying to do. Escobar recognizes that hole on the right side and just punches the ball. You can see where Pujols is the first baseman. He's not holding along like a traditional first baseman does. They'll still put pickoff plays on when he's holding the runner on like that. He can get back, but it just helps him to cover a little bit more ground at first.
Rajay Davis with runners at the corners and one out. Infield at double play depth. Davis lays off that pitch down and away. Rajay picked up an RBI in a similar situation to this on Monday night in Boston. Runners at first and third, one out. Hit a ground ball to the second baseman and beat the relay to first. This time he drives it into center. Encarnacion tags at third. Borges' throw to the plate is not in time. Davis picks up the RBI. It's a one-run game.
They just keep coming after you, don't they? They're not going to lay down. They get the leadoff single by Encarnacion. Goes all the way to third on the single by Escobar. And Rajai Davis is going to plate him with his 20th RBI on a deep fly ball to center. That's how you get him back right there.
Rajai's done a great job since taking over every day in left field. His regular at-bats have allowed him to have good at-bats, and that was his 20th RBI of the season. The sac fly. It's a 4-3 Angel lead. There's that pickoff play you were talking about. Even with Pujols off the bag, Aaron knows that he will be back, and the throw will take Pujols to the bag.
Makes it awfully tough, even when there's a left-handed pitcher out there. The lefty just hang his leg up there, and Pujols can still get back. It just helps him to get a little bit better jump at first base, get into a better fielding position.
2 outs. Adam Lind tapped back to Herron in the second inning. Fights it off and fouls it just off the second deck down the left side. John Farrell has put Adam Lind down in the order, not where fans are used to seeing him hit, but Farrell's thinking is, hey, I don't want him to think he's got to be a run producer. I want him to get his feet back on the ground here in the big leagues. We'll move him up as he becomes more comfortable and gets that stroke back.
Don't think about anything but that baseball right now. When you're hitting down in the lineup like that, you don't have to worry about big RBIs or protecting anybody or keeping innings going. Just hit. Concentrate on the ball and just hit it.
Upstairs. Lynn talked about the difference when he went back to the minor leagues. The first week he was there, all he worked on was rhythm and timing. He was not concerned with the results at all. But he wasn't seeing the ball well when he was in the big leagues. He hit just 186 when he was sent to the minors.
Trying different stances every game.
And comes to that inside corner and picks up the strikeout. That's the second strikeout of the night, but the Blue Jays close ground. RBI sacrifice fly. That ends the inning. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Sloan. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone is the Community Development Organization Doorsteps Neighborhood Services. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Welcome to the ballpark. It's a beautiful night, and it's a one-run ball game. Angels lead 4-3. 2, 3, and 4 in the Angels lineup to start things off. And Torrey Hunter takes his strike. Torrey Hunter has been some ambassador for the great game of baseball since he first came to the big leagues with the Twins. He plays with a lot of joy, and he enjoys not only his success, but he loves to see his teammates do well. And he has become a big fan of watching Mark Trumbo and Mike Trout, two young star players playing for the Angels. Keep an eye on Brett Cecil and Jeff Mathis this inning to see whether indeed there was something about game calling. We showed you the conversation John Farrell had with Brett Cecil. Big breaking ball is fouled off. It's 2-2. Having caught for a long time, catchers can only suggest pitches. If a pitcher doesn't believe it's the right pitch, he won't throw it with conviction. And that's what you need. You need a pitcher convinced it's the right pitch. Shot on the ground. Kelly Johnson is there. Torrey Hunter's retired. But, you know, I caught Dave Steve forever, and no one was more talented than Dave Steve. But he was also hard-hitting. And a lot of times we would have confrontations from 60 feet 6 inches.
How was your suggestions? Were your suggestions good during the game?
Oh, I thought they were excellent. Dave didn't always think they were so hot.
He wanted to go to that 3, right? The slider.
That slider, boy, he loved to throw that thing. But Jeff Mathis, you can see he's always watching the hitter, making sure the hitter doesn't pick up on where he sets up. Albert Pujols drives this ball towards center. Rasmus on the run, and he's not going to get it. Bounces off the wall in center field, and Albert Pujols is back. 2 for 3 tonight, a pair of doubles for Pujols. Doubles number 19 and 20.
That's what makes it so tough to defend Pujols, because he can hit the ball hard everywhere. Watch the reaction from Brett Cecil. The ball was up, and he knows it too. He said, please stay in the ballpark. I know I missed my spot. Stay in the ballpark. Ball's hit hard. Remember the last time up, Pujols hit one almost in the same spot to left center. Colby Rasmus then moved over a little bit. This time he hits the right center field for a double.
First time we saw Pujols, he was thinking about nothing but pulling. And now he's back to where he's always been, using the whole field. And then you got to deal with this guy. Mark Trumbo hit his 19th home run his last time up on a first pitch fastball out over the plate. First pitch off speed pitch for a strike. Pujols signed as a free agent in the offseason with the Angels. You can bet he put some pressure on himself early on.
New league, big contracts, new teammates. You want to impress, so you try just a little bit too hard.
Pujols is going to third. Trumbo flies to right. Bautista's got a shot. Here's the throw to second. Not in time. Boy, that was a heads-up play by Bautista. Trumbo hit the fly ball to right. Pujols was on the move, and he has to scramble back. He recognizes, sees the third base coach point to right, and Bautista threw a seed on one hop.
Yeah, almost got it there before Pujols took off. He's got his head down and then realizes the ball is hit. Bautista with that good arm puts it there, but it's a little bit late. Looking for his 10th outfield assist.
Howie Kendrick pulls it foul. But Pujols got a great jump, too. Pujols is 4 for 4 in steals so far, and he had that one stolen.
Not a bad time to go either. with just one out and a fly ball hitter up in Trumbo.
Yeah, that's the last thing you think about is Pujols stealing with Trumbo at the plate.
But if he gets there, Trumbo can just hit a soft fly ball to the outfield and pick up an easy RBI.
Little looper into right. This is going to get down for a base hit. Pujols is around third. Here's the throw to the plate. Is up the line and not in time. Howie Kendrick delivers a 2-out RBI single. The Angels get the run back.
You know what, Jose Bautista, he just could not come in and make this catch. He knew it was going to be a hit, and with the artificial surface, he has to lay back on the ball, so he can't come in and get a little bit more on it. See how he's got to lay back to make sure that the ball, A, doesn't bounce over his head, and B, that he catches it, gives it enough ground, so he just couldn't get enough on that throw.
Yeah, he couldn't charge that ball at all, as he knew it wasn't going to stay in the air long enough to catch it. Now, Alberto Callaspo. Callaspo is 2 for 2 with a home run. It's a 5-3 ball game, top of the 5th inning. Aspo goes after that off-speed pitch. Cecil's done a good job of getting ahead 0-2 tonight.
Yep, and now he's got to finish him off. Callaspo talking to the home plate umpire about that first one made me swing at that second one. Fastball that I thought was off the plate. You called it a strike, then I got to swing at that one. Now's the perfect time for that backdoor curveball. Sort of a couple sinkers, a couple fastballs away. Now you can backdoor him.
The fans have picked up on the pigeon walking between home plate and the mound.
Now, if I'm hitting, I'm running out there to scare that pigeon. How can you concentrate on the baseball with that guy walking in front of you?
Yeah, and you never know when it's going to take off. He is into foul ground, and we're set. 0-2, 2 outs. Cut out and missed. Callaspo strikes out. Brett Cecil has 6 strikeouts, but he's given up 5 runs on 7 hits and trails 5-3. After giving up the run, his ball club scored a run in the bottom of the 4th, and he gave one right back. Pujols with the 1-out double, and Howie Kendrick with a 2-out RBI single to right. It's 5-3 Angels. Gorgeous night here at Rogers Center and the CN Tower, standing guard over the stadium. Bottom of the 5th inning. Jeff Mathis homered, leading off the 3rd. On the ground, Ibar to his left, does a 360, and Mathis has his second hit. A home run and an infield single, 2 for 2 for the Blue Jays catcher.
If Ibar could have kept his feet underneath him and turned right to the bag right there instead of going around like that, he might have had a shot. But once he left his feet and then tried to throw from short center field, you're not going to get Jeff Mathis at first base. He just runs too well.
Jeff's a good athlete. And now back to the top of the order, Brett Glory. He's grounded out twice. Once to short, once to third. Glory's hit .310 hitting in the leadoff spot over a span. This now his 22nd game. He's reached base in 16 straight games. Been a great leadoff hitter.
Seen more fastballs, I think, there. He's brought a lot of energy to the top of the lineup. Starting to get those extra base hits. He might come out of his shoes right here swinging at this pitch.
And he popped it up. Right side of the infield. Pujols, the first baseman, in foul ground. 1 out. For the inside scoop on the Blue Jays and the latest stories from around baseball, visit our MLB Mashup blog on Sportsnet.ca. It features Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack. They'll bring you up to speed on everything that's going on with the Blue Jays and in the baseball world. Bring you up to date. Blue Jays have really had some problems juggling their rotation. Carlos Villanueva will start tomorrow night, make his first start of the season. And then Aaron Laffey will wrap it up on Canada Day. Laffey making his second start of the season. Laffey was good against the Red Sox.
Yes, he was. He was excellent. Saw Henderson Alvarez throwing in the bullpen this afternoon, which is a good sign. He was scheduled to throw on Saturday, so he was getting his throwing in.
Alvarez left Monday night's game in Boston in the 6th inning after throwing a couple of pitches, and he went to Florida, had the elbow checked out by Dr. Steve Mirabella, and he has been given the green light. Rasmus bunts it up the third baseline. It's a good one. Dan Aaron does what he should have done, and he just holds on to it. Boy, Colby Rasmus, what a great bunt in a good situation.
He can do that too. He deadens the ball. That's the whole key. He turns early and he just deadens the ball. Gets it down in the dirt into no man's land and no chance for any play. Watch how he gives a little bit to that ball off the bat. And with Cayespe back, the only player who has a chance is Heron, and takes a bite out of it.
Yeah, and Heron did a good job of not trying to force the issue. He knew that was going to be a base hit, so he just held on to the baseball. So Mathis is at second, Rasmus at first for Jose Bautista. Bautista has hit 9 of his 25 home runs here at Rogers Center. So much for the man in the white hat.
He doesn't exist. Heron's given up 13 home runs this year. 7 at home, 6 on the road.
Bautista would like to have another look at that pitch.
Yeah, a little spinner.
That ball stayed in the middle of the plate. Heron's only allowed 4 home runs to right-handed batters, but they, as we mentioned earlier, have hit .341 against him coming into this game. Well, Bautista's a different hitter. When he can lay off those pitches, he is really picking up the ball early out of Herron's hand.
With him looking for the ball in, and the ball is away, he's not even biting at it. Earlier in the year, when he was trying to hit everything, when he was trying to hit every pitch, he would be fishing for those.
Bounce it foul. We got two of the best right-handed hitters in all of baseball here in this game tonight, Jose Bautista and Albert Pujols. And look at the home runs since September 1st of 2009. Bautista with 132, Pujols 97, and Prince Fielder of the Tigers 92. That's amazing he has that big a lead on two of the best power hitters in all of baseball. There go the runners, and the ball is fouled back. John Farrell put the runners in motion with a full count, just one out. Both Rasmus and Mathis looking at Brian Butterfield as they went back to their respective bases.
Let him hit. That's what Brian Butterfield is telling him. Don't get picked off. Let him hit.
Another full count. Herron's going to make sure they don't get a big jump.
And you got to make sure that if you do try to start the runners, you got to make sure that Dan Herron goes home. There's the universal sign of let him hit right there. He just missed a home run his first time up. Popped it up.
There it is. He didn't pop this one up. Three-run home run, Jose Bautista, number 26.
The way that he was just laying off those outside pitches, he was just waiting for one over the middle of the plate. You could just feel it. Dan Herron misses his spot, and the way that Bautista is locked in right now, the way he is swinging the bat, he missed it his first time up, popped up a 3-1 pitch. This time, he doesn't. Watch where this ball is and where it lands. Woo.
What a swing. Edwin Encarnacion loses the bat all the way down past Brian Butterfield.
Every time he hits a home run the next 3 games, he'll keep adding to his record of home runs in a month. Watch the reaction from Dan Herron. He knew it.
Going to stay further away from Encarnacion. Edwin still trying to get feeling for that batter's box. Bautista now with 61 RBIs. Ball is hit high into center field. Peter Borges now coming in. Encarnacion is retired. Jose Bautista has touched out his own record for home runs in a month. Now 14 home runs hit in the month of June. Carlos Delgado, Jose Cruz Jr., and Jose all had 12 home run months. And now Bautista has stretched out his lead.
This game and 2 more till the end of June.
Kelly Johnson flies out to left field, and Trout makes the catch. But the Blue Jays have taken the lead. A 3-run home run by Jose Bautista. His 26th of the season. Puts Brett Cecil and the Jays on top 6-5. And you have to make sure you cast your vote. You can vote as many as 25 times per email address. Cast your vote at BlueJays.com and make sure Jose Bautista is in that starting outfield for the American League. The game will take place July 10th in Kansas City. And to give you an idea what kind of all-star push Bautista is making, he has now hit 14 home runs and driven in 29 runs in the month of June. Brett Cecil quickly gets it and throws it away into the seats. Cecil dove for it, and then we saw Dan Herron in a similar situation concede a base hit. And here Cecil tried to make the perfect play and threw it into the seats.
It cost him an error. Also takes the double play out of order. Eric Garbar has the most bunts hits in the American League in the last 3 years, and this is perfectly placed from the right-handed batter's box. Cecil dives, gets to it, and just did not really have a chance. Tried to make something that wasn't there.
Peter Borges can really bunt as well. And Brett Cecil looks Ibar back at second.
This is the part of the lineup the last time through that they manufactured a couple of runs with a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly.
Men in at first looking for the bunt. Borges not showing bunt. Brett Cecil in the 6th inning with a 6-5 lead. Blue Jays with a pair of home runs. The Angels also have hit 2 home runs. Bautista number 26 for the season. Ball is driven to center field. Rasmus on the run. He's not going to get it. This ball bounces out of the ballpark. It'll be a ground rule double. Eric Ibar will come in, and once again we are tied. It's a 6-6 game. Peter Borges picking up his second RBI of the night.
Blue Jays catch a break also with that great speed from Borges. If that stays in the ballpark, it's probably going to be a triple. He's got some power. He's homered in back-to-back games. Drives this ball out into the outfield. No chance for Rasmus to run this one down, and right there it bounces off the carpet and out of play. So Borges has to stop at second.
So for Borges, his 17th RBI of the season, and it's a 6-6 game. The catcher, Bobby Wilson. Wilson has struck out and walked. Blue Jays again expecting a bunt. Wilson squares and bunts it to third. Laurie comes in. His only play is to first, and Wilson executes perfectly. Made the third baseman field it, and Borges goes to third. So Borges is at third. He represents the go-ahead run. It's a 6-6 game, and Bruce Walton out to have a chat with Brett Cecil. Jason Frazier loosening up for the Blue Jays. This has been a real challenge for John Farrell, is how he uses his bullpen, because the starters haven't pitched as deep as they did early in the season. The relievers have thrown a ton of innings, and he knows you got to try to keep the arms as fresh as possible.
On the road trip alone, they used them a lot, the relievers. And bridging now from the starter to the end of the game, trying to figure that one out.
Mike Trout, the leadoff batter. Trout is 1 for 3. Their 2 best base runners. Trout at the plate, Borges at third. Snap throw to third. Oh, what a good throw by Mathis, and a great tag by Laurie, but Borges gets back.
That's a great play. I love that play. You got to figure that the Angels are going to try and steal a run here by getting the contact play. This is a set play. You see Laurie take off, fastball inside, and that makes it very easy for Mathis to try and pick him off. Not a bad idea.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Dino Evil is busy flashing signs to the batter. You've got to believe they're going to play contact here if the ball's hit on the ground, given the speed at third.
Just watch the lead from Borges. He's very close to that line. When that runner is that close to the line in foul territory, it means he wants to come home. Usually they'll stay off the dirt a little bit further towards the coach's box.
By staying close to that line, you shorten the distance to the plate.
So you've got to figure they're running that contact play.
All these things that infielders can pick up on if they're paying attention. Three balls and a strike, one out. Ball is drilled to left field. Davis over, and the ball is gone. Mike Trout, a line drive home run, his 8th of the season, and the Angels have regained the lead. You mentioned it earlier. Mike Trout hits line drives, and sometimes they go out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he hit it in the right spot. He's got such a good bat control and a short swing. They wanted the ball down and away, and this one is up. The follow through is short, quick, then the line drive leaves the ballpark.
So Mike Trout with his second hit, a 2-run home run. He's knocked Brett Cecil out of the ball game. Jason Frazier will come on when we come back. Angels lead 8-6. He comes on in relief of Brett Cecil. Cecil gave up a 2-run home run to Mike Trout, and that gave the Angels an 8-6 lead. Disappointing finish to his start. The Angels scored first and was second. They scored a single run, then they had a 3-run fourth, and now a 3-run sixth.
Started very quickly with 4 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, just a home run to show for it. But now in the 6th inning, Jason Frazier take over for the 35th time already this year. He leads the club with 9 holds. Good fastball. He's a victim of a home run the other day to Jared Saltalamacchia in his 2/3 of an inning at Boston.
So Cecil will leave with the Angels leading 8-6. Torrey Hunter's gone 0 for 3 this evening. Off the end of the bat, Yunel Escobar to Lynn. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. They've won 5 straight, but they lost 2 pitchers. CC Sabathia and Andy Pettit both on the disabled list. The Yankees have suffered a similar fate to so many teams in baseball, losing starting pitchers. Albert Pujols looks at a fastball away.
Pettit has a fractured fibula. He's going to be out for quite a while.
Yeah.
I believe I heard 2 months, and I've heard conflicting reports on CC Sabathia. I heard a strained groin, and I heard a torn groin. So I'm not real sure. Big difference there. That could be a while for CC also.
Yeah. It's obviously, and we've learned it the hard way. When you say 15-day disabled list, more often than not, it's closer to 3 weeks, sometimes a month.
For a pitcher, double that.
Sergio Santos is not even thrown off the mound yet. Albert Pujols with a 2-0 count. Off speed pitch, he fouls off. They're talking to John Farrell about the bullpen and the way he used it in Boston and on the road trip. And he said, you know, we go into a ball game and you look at your matchups, you see who's available, how many innings they've thrown, how much rest they've had, and then you decide how you're going to approach it on a given night. And that takes place before the game ever starts. You sit down, you talk to the pitching coach, you say, okay, we've got Frazier for an inning, we've got Jansen for an inning, and then you put together your plan accordingly.
It's a process that they talk about, and believe me, the Blue Jays are prepared. They are prepared for every situation. Do we have a sinker ball pitcher? If I do have a sinker ball pitcher, when do I want to use him? If it comes up in this situation in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, believe me, they've thought through all of that. Now you just have to go out there and execute.
Bruce Walton will check with all of his pitchers when they come out and stretch and start to play catch for the first time and say, okay, how do you feel today? You know, you throw 3 days in a row. Do you have an inning? Do you have an out? Do you have a batter? Some guys will say, yeah, I'm good to go. Casey Jansen's been terrific since he's moved into the closer's role. And you always have to save him, especially when you're on the road. You need to keep him in reserve should you take the lead late.
He's your last line of defense, so you can't use him in a tie ball game.
Mark Trumbo with Pujols at first chases that high fastball. Albert Pujols is 3 for 4 tonight. Trumbo has homered. The Angels have hit 3 home runs. The Blue Jays have homered twice.
I told you this is a hot team offensively, and they're showing you why right now. Power, some good averages. The hottest guy might be Torrey Hunter. He doesn't have a hit tonight.
Yeah, and he didn't even get any attention. They moved Hunter into the 2 spot, and he has really flourished.
He's hit about 370 over the last 3 weeks.
Pujols has come on. His average now at 267. When the Blue Jays saw him the first week of May, he was hitting 205. Trumbo waves at that outside pitch and strikes out. Frazier comes out of the bullpen and ends the top half of the 6th. The Angels have a 2-run lead. gives up 10 hits, 8 earned runs, walked a couple, and struck out 6. He is also tied for 3 home runs. A solo shot by Alberto Callaspo, a 2-run home run off the bat of Mark Trumbull, and a 2-run home run off the bat of Mike Trout.
Started off strong. He had 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. He had nice 6 strikeouts altogether. Had a good curveball working early, and then started missing his spots in the 5th and 6th inning. And that's when the home runs started happening.
So the Blue Jay hitters will have to go back to work. Escobar is 1 for 2 with an RBI. This has been a familiar theme for the Blue Jays offense. They've had to score a lot of runs.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Bouncing ball to short. Good hot fly ball. Escobar is retired. Ricky Romero went 3 innings plus a couple of batters yesterday. Gave up 9 runs, 8 earned runs. And he was back at work here this afternoon, working in the bullpen with Pete Walker, the bullpen coach, and Bruce Walt, the pitching coach, trying to figure something out because it has been a mystery to Ricky Romero all summer.
The towel drill right there, that's supposed to emphasize that you get your hand out in front. And that was his balancing point right there. He did something in the game yesterday in the 3rd inning where he moved over towards the 3rd base side of the pitching rubber. I think he's always been a guy who has been on the 1st base side, and that had him thrown across his body. So he wanted to free up, and the important thing for him is throwing strikes to his arm side. That means the 1st base side of the plate. And he felt like he couldn't get there by being on the right side, the 1st base side of the mound. So he moved over in the game to a shutout inning yesterday. So that's something we might see from Romero in his next start.
Davis shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Well, it's an ongoing challenge for hitters and for pitchers to stay ahead of the curve. There's so much information out there, and the Red Sox have hit well against Ricky Romero, and that might be in his head a little bit. So you try to do something different. You go away from your strengths, but he's not been consistent all year. He knows that. He's talked about it.
More strikes. He needs more strikes. We talked about it a little bit in yesterday's ball game, that throwing more strikes with his curveball and his changeup, swingable strikes where the batter has to offer at it. His stuff is so good, but if he can't get that changeup over the plate, Red Sox are just going to lay off of it.
Roger Davis strikes out. That's the first out of the bottom of the 6th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Arizona's another team that has been hurt by injuries to their starting staff. Daniel Hudson, a fine young pitcher, is out for the season with Tommy John. Lynn pops it up high into center field. Borges with a long run, and he gets there. And just like that, the inning is over. Dan Herron quickly through the 6th. Signing day. Hockey fans around the world will be watching that day as hockey free agents can sign. Hockey Central will have it all covered for you Sunday. It all starts at noon Eastern. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. A free agent frenzy right here on Sportsnet. Sidney Crosby jumped the gun and signed a nice extension with the Penguins over a $100 million contract.
New pitcher for the Blue Jays here in the 7th inning. This is Francisco Cordero making his 36th appearance of the season. 2-4 with a .475 earned run average. Been better of late. His fastball seems to be a little bit better when he keeps it down. His slider has been better. Just needs to hit spots. Right-handers are finally under 300 against Cordero this season.
Jason Frazier goes 2/3 of an inning. Howie Kendrick chases that first pitch. Ball on the strike. Now, a lot of people sit there and say, well, why did Frazier just pitch 2/3 of an inning? He's done now, and why didn't he just keep him out there? Well, Jason Frazier is the type of guy that can get you out of an inning. But oftentimes when he comes back for that second inning, his stuff isn't quite as good. And this is all learning your personnel, knowing who you have. And Jason's been very good at coming into a middle of an inning and getting you out of it. But he hasn't done very well when they ask him to bridge that next inning.
Short spurts. Plus, he's also thrown 3 out of the last 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's tough to just keep going out there. I don't care if it's 2/3 of an inning, a full inning, 1/3. I don't care. If you get yourself ready, you're prepared, you're juiced out there, you're throwing the ball. It's tough to do that 3 out of 4 days.
2-2. Kendrick is late. Frazier pitched Monday in Boston. He pitched Tuesday in Boston, 2/3 inning, and then didn't get in the game, and there he comes in for 2/3 here tonight. That's a heavy load. It's a heavy load for the type of pitcher that Frazier is. He's a 1-inning pitcher. And John Farrell and Bruce Walton will talk about his reliability and his ability to get you out of an inning. You just stop the bleeding in that inning and say, okay, we're going to stabilize the game right now. Take a shot with Frazier. And that's what they did in the 6th.
And what kind of guy is he? Also, he's a maximum effort. Everything you have behind every pitch, 93, 94 miles an hour. And you just can't keep running that out there every day. Cordero, there's that breaking ball I was telling you about a little bit better as he strikes out Kendrick. He's allowed just 2 earned runs over his last 14 games, so he's starting to get into his groove.
Alberto Callaspo's in his groove. He is 2 for 3 tonight, including a home run. He struck out against Brett Cecil in the 6th. Francisco Cordero jumps ahead with a strike.
Make the play. Scotty, I thought you had a chance.
Scotty knew it was a little bit wide left, so he never left his seat.
Well, at least he was sitting there and he wasn't
ducking under the table like Jerry Howard. Jerry Howarth in Fenway Park yesterday got a hot shot foul ball right back to the booth, and before the ball got there, he was ducking under the table.
And not afraid to let people know that, too.
1-2, 1 out. Down the stairs, it's 2-2. Eight-6 ball game. The Angels, as we mentioned, they've been on a tear. Offensively, they have been as good as anybody in baseball. Callaspo lays off that breaking ball. Over their last 3 games now, including this game tonight, they've scored 28 runs and pounded out 44 hits. That's 3 games. Gallaspo will reach again.
Want a better tasting burger? Then step up to the plate for a sirloin Uncle Burger at A&W. Made with 5 ounces of juicy sirloin, it's a taste of burger bliss.
Mark Trumbo and Mike Trout, 2 of the young stars for the Angels, having an impact tonight. They've both hit 2-run home runs here tonight.
Can't tell that they got in at 4 o'clock in the morning, can you?
There is no such thing as 4 o'clock in the morning when you're 20. Doesn't even bother you.
I was thinking more of Albert Pujols with 3 hits. They played a late game last night in Baltimore. Didn't get into Toronto till 4 in the morning. Their hotel about 5.
Pujols with 3 hits tonight. He's averaged up to 267. Raised that average 7 points since the start of the game. Eric Ivor. Ivor's had a productive night. He's struck out. Had a sacrifice bunt and scored a run. Had a bunt single to lead off the 6th inning. Came around to score the 6th Angel run to support Dan Aaron. Aaron has given up 6 runs on 7 hits and a couple of home runs. Angel bullpen is working. There goes Gallaspo. The ball is hit to left field. It'll get down in front of Rajai Davis. Ivor has his 2nd hit as the Angels play hit and run.
That's what they had to do a lot of last year before they got all these big bumpers in their lineup. That's the Troy Hawkins, who is now sitting down. They play hit and run. They go 1st to 3rd probably better than anybody in the American League. They're always using that good team speed. I was talking earlier about having athletes all over the diamond. Athletes can make themselves do things. And when you've got this kind of speed and this kind of athleticism, you can do things offensively.
Peter Borges playing in center field tonight. He's had a good night as well. Borges is just 25 years old. Not like he's the graybeard out in the outfield. His father was once a scout for the Toronto Blue Jays. Chris Borges is now scouting for the Orioles. But he was here in the heyday of the Blue Jays scouting system.
This guy can play a little bit.
You know, he's going to be subject of a lot of attention this offseason. A lot of teams around baseball would love to have his speed at the top of the order. Put him in center field, and you could swing a pretty good deal, I would think, dangling Peter Borges. He strikes out this time. That's the 2nd time he's gone down on strikes. But you got to believe that the Angels are going to free up some space. Make sure Trout and Trumbo play every day, no matter where it is. Mike Scioscia has the embarrassment of riches right now.
I think the last time we saw the Angels, I believe they had 6 outfielders on their roster. But only 3 can play at a time, if you count Mark Trumbo. Trumbo's played some outfield also this year.
And he's a pretty good athlete.
Yes.
He has a tremendous arm. We saw that when we faced him in Anaheim back in May. Snap throw to second. There's the tag, and Jeff Mathis has just ended the inning. He gets Alberto Gallaspo straying too far from second. Kelly Johnson got his attention, and they make a perfect throw to second. Good tag by Johnson. Jays are out of the inning. is 2 for 2 at the plate tonight, including a home run. He's scored a pair, but defensively he got the Blue Jays out of the inning. Watch Kelly Johnson, top of your screen, as Alberto Callaspo drifts too far away from second base. It's only a 2-run game, and the Angels have a chance to expand their lead, but Mathis with a good throw to second.
Well, he picked up that the base runner. Callaspo was really getting too much of a secondary lead. He picked up on that, put the pickoff sign on with Kelly Johnson, and from his knees picks him off at second base.
Troy Hawkins, a veteran right-hander, has just come back from the Sable list. He was activated on June 9th. The first pitch strike to Jeff Mathis. Hard slider. It's 0-2. Hawkins was sent to the disabled list against the Blue Jays. He was pitching in relief. Had a hot shot comebacker, knocked it down with his bare hand and broke a finger, and he was out over a month. Mathis drives this to right center. Torrey Hunter on the run. He's not going to get it. It bounces off the wall. Mathis has a double. A leadoff double for Jeff Mathis. He's having some game against his former team.
A single, a double, a home run. Slider down and away. Just swung through the same pitch. Hawkins misses his spot. Jeff Mathis doesn't miss the ball this time. No chance for Hunter to run that one down. Blue Jays have a good start here in the 7th.
Well, Mathis' pickoff of Callaspo was a huge play, as that kept the Angels off the scoreboard. It's only a 2-run deficit. Brett Laurie looking for his first hit of the night. Upstairs. Bouncing ball up the middle. That's into center field. Mathis is getting a wave around third. He'll score. It's a 1-run game. Jeff Mathis with the leadoff double. Brett Laurie with the RBI single, and it's an 8-7 Angels lead.
Here they come. Blue Jays, they have good at bats. They don't give up. Nobody just pokes the ball off the plate and into center field, just out of the reach of Ibar. No chance for Borges to get Mathis.
Now Mathis talking about LaTroy Hawkins. Knows him well. Kobe Rasmus had a bunt single. He came around to score back in the 5th. There's not a whole lot of give up in this Blue Jays lineup. They will keep coming at you. Overripped by Rasmus.
He's had some good at bats and some ferocious swings. That is Jordan Walden, now the former closer of the Angels, now up. Mike Scioscia might be looking for a little bit more fastball as we get to the middle of the Blue Jay lineup.
Bautista homered his last time up, a 3-run shot off Dan Herron. Jeff Mathis got the first look at LaTroy Hawkins, and he passed on the information to Bautista before Jose moved to the on-deck circle. He drove a slider to the gap in right center. Bautista might not face LaTroy Hawkins. 0-2. Bounced on the ground. Ibar to second for one. Back to first, not nearly in time, and Laurie knocked Howie Kendrick right off his feet. That'll get Bautista to the plate with one out and a man at first. Back into fifth with 2 on.
Aaron wanted to go down and away, and he went right into the sweet spot of Jose Bautista's swing, and that put the Blue Jays up. At that time, the Angels would come back with 3 runs of their own in the top of the 6th inning. And Bautista trying to put the Blue Jays back ahead again.
Bautista has only faced Hawkins once. He's 0 for 1. Hawkins better command the fastball a little better than that. He was trying to go away and missed badly up and in. Bautista's home run in the 5th was his 26th of the season. He's taken a 2-home-run lead over Adam Dunn and Josh Hamilton. It's the most home runs in the majors. His teammate Edwin Encarnacion right there with 22.
Remember when he wasn't even on that list? Couldn't find them. Now he is zoomed by everybody.
2 balls and a strike. Bautista with 3 RBIs has jumped ahead of Miguel Cabrera into second place in the American League behind Josh Hamilton.
He didn't stay in the 50 RBI slot very long, did he? I think he reached it somewhere on that last road trip. Jose. He got 50 RBIs that game against the Brewers. And they had a 3 RBI game.
There goes Rasmus. Bautista swings and misses. Rasmus steals it. He's going to third on the throw. And he'll get to third base now with 1 out. For Rasmus, just his 4th steal of the season. Bobby Wilson, the catcher, will be charged with an error. And now the tying run is just 90 feet away.
That'll be his 3rd error. I think that's a part of the game that Colby Rasmus has hidden. It just hasn't come out yet. You can see those nice long strides as he gets there very quickly and then moves over to third base. And now with a count of 2-2 with 1 out, the infield has to come in. Wilson will be charged with his 3rd error of the season.
And Bautista with a 2-2 count. Bouncing ball going on contact. Here's the throw to the plate. Thank God Rasmus. Blue Jays playing contact. And the Angels played pitch and catch. Ibar made a good play going to his left. Fielded it cleanly and made a good throw.
There's a little spot right between the catcher's legs. Maybe Rasmus gets in there. Watch. He goes right between Wilson. Yeah, home plate umpire's in a good spot. He's looking right at the play from behind the plate.
Looked like the tag might have been high on the leg. There is no reason in the world for a catcher not to block home plate.
Yep. He didn't block it, and it gave Rasmus a chance to go between his leg. And he almost stole a run there.
Absolutely. That would have been very easy for Tom Hallion to call Rasmus safe. 2 outs, Edwin Encarnacion. But I just don't understand catchers not blocking the plate. Just take away this chance. Look at the hole he's got to put that foot through. You could have called him safe and not had much of an argument.
Yep. He tagged him up around the hip, and that leg had to touch the plate at some point.
The best in the business at blocking the plate sitting in the Angel dugout. The manager, Mike Scioscia. I guarantee you, Rasmus wouldn't have been able to get his leg to home plate with Scioscia catching.
It was like a brick wall up there at home plate when he was catching.
One ball, no strikes. Edwin Encarnacion is up the count in his favor.
Well, you got the bat to the right side, and the only place that he could slide was right between his legs. Couldn't go around him because the bat is laying right there. You can see that. And again, from that angle, it looked like the foot got in there.
Yeah, man, all the catcher has to do is go down on both knees. You just collapse on your knees, the shin guards will take the brunt of it, top of the knee, and if you do expose yourself to injury, it's in the biggest part of your body, your thighs. And yeah, you might get cut once in a while, but to take away any of the doubt, eliminate the opportunity for that base run and get the play.
I think you forced Colby Rasmus to try and go through you then also.
But Rasmus could have been called safe on that play. Guarantee you Mike Scioscia wouldn't have had any doubts about whether he was safe or out. He'd have put a knot on your head. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Bautista at first. I'm not really sure what they're doing. You saw Mike Scioscia flashing those signals from the dugout. Unlike a lot of teams, Scioscia, the manager, calls a running game. And here he goes through the signs himself. Throwovers, pitch outs, slide steps, controlling the running game. And that's part of that defense as well. Just hold the ball. See if Bautista might get antsy and take an early break.
I think he's also delaying the game just a little bit longer to get the left-hander loose in that bullpen. He just got up. That's why they sent Mike Butcher out there to get Takahashi loose. And they've slowed the ball game down a little bit, thrown over to first, stepping off. Just in case.
Bautista back easily.
Just in case they lose Encarnacion here and he ends up walking them or giving up a base hit, they're going to bring in that lefty to face Kelly Johnson. And they're going to force John Farrell to possibly make a move.
There's Takahashi. He is ready. Jordan Walden has been ready. 3-0 count to Encarnacion. You've got to believe he's got the green light.
Yeah, with the home run ability.
He takes his strike. Two of the best power hitters in all of baseball, both from the Dominican Republic. They have a lot of respect for one another. 3-1. And Bautista will get back. If you are going to gamble and send Bautista, this is the pitch to do it. He is 4 for 5 in steal attempts. It's an 8-7 ball game. Angels with a 1-run lead. Not going. Popped up. And well out of play.
Going down.
Is going indeed. 2 outs, a full count. Blue Jays have scored a run here in the bottom of the 7th to make it 8-7.
I think LaTroy Hawkins is stepping off that backside of the pitching mound, figuring out, do I give in to him? Or do I try and trick him with a 3-2 breaking ball?
I think he throws him a breaking ball. He knows there's a left-hander and a right-hander ready. No reason to challenge Encarnacion with his power.
That's what I think, too.
There goes Bautista. Breaking ball bounced over the mound. Kendrick will go to first. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays on the Brett Lawrie RBI single have made it a 1-run game.
The Angels had already scored a couple of runs in the 4th inning. They've got runners on first and second, nobody out. They lead the American League in sacrifice bunts. This is number 24 on the season. Why is it smart? Because the next batter hits a fly ball, medium-sized fly ball to center field. It scores a tack-on run in the 4th inning. They ended up scoring 3 runs on 3 hits. And it's a big one because the Angels lead by just 1 run as we head to the 8th inning.
Yeah, and they're always going to take advantage of their scoring opportunities. Mike Scioscia knows that the way his team played the last few years, they had to scratch and claw for runs. New pitcher for the Blue Jays will be the 3rd reliever of the night. It'll be the veteran Darren Oliver, and what a season he's put together. This will be his 31st appearance of the season, and he has been as consistent as anybody in John Farrell's pen.
I love watching him work. You could just see all the experience come out with Darren Oliver. He knows where to throw pitches, when to throw them, when to let up a little bit on his breaking ball and on his fastball. He had it all up. He's had a great year.
First pitch strike to the number 9 hitter. Bobby Wilson struck out, walked, and had a sacrifice bunt. Pops this one up on the infield. Second baseman Kelly Johnson calls for it.
You know, Darren Oliver is a lot like former Blue Jay and current left-handed reliever Scott Downs. Doesn't throw hard, but he executes pitches. He throws the ball where he needs to. He understands how to get major league hitters out. Scott Downs has become the 8th inning man for the Angels ahead of Frieri, their closer.
Top of the order, Mike Trout. Trout's had another big night. 2 for 4 tonight.
4 hits last night in the game in Baltimore.
Average at 347. His home run into 6 was his 8th of the season. Trout played in 40 games a year ago for the Angels, had a total of 123 at bats. In the 6th inning, he drills a line drive home run over the wall in left.
And a runner on third base. Really levels that bat right before he starts to swing it. Keeps that front shoulder in there.
Kelly Johnson up the middle. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Kansas City swept the Rays over the weekend, and right now they're having a little bit of a problem, but Tampa Bay still at 40-35. They have slipped to 4th place as the division is kind of turned over. Yankees are ahead by 5 games. Baltimore in 2nd place. Then Boston is 6.5 back. Boston will play in the West Coast now. They are playing Seattle tonight.
Our crack stats man pointed this out to us yesterday that the Kansas City Royals are closer to 1st place than Tampa Bay.
Not bad. Kansas City's 5 back in the Central. We'll see the Royals here beginning Monday night, a 4-game series. That'll be the final home series of the first half. Blue Jays will then go to Chicago for a weekend series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the All-Star break. Torrey Hunter fights it off, stays alive. It's 0-2. Hunter has been shut down tonight. He is 0 for 4 so far.
Given it 15 runs in 15 games since they moved him into that 2-hole.
Make it 0 for 5. How about Darren Oliver? Nifty 1-2-3 8th inning. Blue Jays trail by run. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. West, it'll be the Boston Red Sox sending Franklin Morales to the mound against Seattle's Felix Hernandez. Boston has really made a surge. They've won 8 of the last 10, and they'll go up against the tough Felix Hernandez with 5-5. That'll all take place right here on Sportsnet, West End Pacific, and it all starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Former Blue Jay Scott Downs comes on to start the 8th.
How about those numbers? They're not lying. ERA 0.36, 1-0. He also has 6 saves and 6 opportunities. He does it with smarts. He does it with guile. He knows how to pitch. He doesn't walk anybody. Gets a lot of ground balls when he is on. Just sinks his fastball, goes both sides of the plate, drops the curveball in there every now and then. But his numbers have been stupid this year.
Kelly Johnson. Johnson had a double his first at bat. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Blue Jays need a base runner. They're down by a run. A breaking ball, and that's Downs' bread and butter. That slow hook that he gets down and away to lefty hitters.
I think he can throw it any time for a strike. He'll throw it early in the count. He'll finish off batters with it at times. He's got a slow one. He's got the firmer one that he'll use for strikeouts.
Give you an idea of what kind of shutdown combination that Scott Downs and Ernesto Frieri have been. 47 and a third innings pitched. They've allowed 24 hits and 1 earned run. That's a 0.19 ERA between Downs and Frieri. One and 2. Pushed him back.
It is two different styles. One's a left-hander who moves the ball around, doesn't throw very hard. The other one is a right-hander who throws real hard. So it's a nice combination of setup man closer.
And Downs has never been bothered by right-handed hitters. So he can come in a situation like this with a lefty and 2 righties. Kelly Johnson bounces it. That's a fair ball. Downs gets there, and Kelly Johnson's retired.
You want that reliable 8th inning guy who's going to, in tight ball games, not panic, make pitches. Well, that's what Downs did, and that's what he does. 25 holds last year, 25 of them for the Angels.
Now, obviously, at this point of the ball game, the Angels don't want to put any base runners on. Each time they do that, they get closer to Jose Bautista.
They just as soon leave him on the bench for the rest of the game.
He is now 6 batters away. Ball and a strike, 1 out. Bobby Wilson does a good job behind the plate. He's done most of the work behind the plate since Chris Iannetta fractured his hand.
Well, the first thing you want to do if you're a catcher for the Angels and you play for Mike Scioscia, you better know how to catch. And that's about receiving the baseball, setting up the right way. He thinks it's one of the most important things of receiving the baseball. Next thing you got to do, you better be able to call a good ball game.
That was an interesting conversation you and I had with Scioscia last year in his office here at Rogers Center. 1 and 2, 1 out. Escobar stays alive. We asked Mike Scioscia what the most important aspect was for him from his catcher, and he never hesitated. Receiving the baseball. He said if you get your catcher to receive a baseball, and he might catch 150 pitches during the course of the game, if he can take a 1-1 pitch and make it a 1-2 pitch as opposed to 2-1 pitch, that turns the entire game around.
That borderline pitch. How you receive that borderline pitch on the corner.
Escobar strikes out. Downs comes with another breaking ball, and he has picked up the first 2 outs here in the inning.
Goes that curveball anytime, anywhere. To a right-hander down towards that back foot with 2 strikes. That's where you want to throw it. And that's where he gets Escobar with the strikeout.
Mike Scioscia just noticed that J.P. Arencibia had stepped to the on-deck circuit. Rajay Davis. Rajay has an RBI with a sac fly back in the 4th inning.
And now Rajay's trying to figure out a way to get on base. Any way you can. Drop a bunt down if you want to. Try and take a walk, anything to get on there. Because he's so dangerous when he's on the bases.
17 steals. And he knows that this is a one-run game. Davis is 3rd in the American League in steals. Jason Kipnis is 2nd to Mike Trout. Trout has 21, Kipnis 18, and then Rajay Davis. But you got to get on first. And he does. A hot shot back to the mound, and Scott Downs tipped it. But it was hit so hard it makes its way into center.
That's a bullet right there, and Downs almost comes up with it. Reflexes, and he just can't get it. Comes back so quickly, it's hit to his glove side. They'll come up with it. Rajay's at first base.
So Davis is at first. Mike Scioscia will come to the mound. He's checking with the umpire to make sure that J.P. Arencibi has been announced into the game, and then he makes the call to the bullpen. So Scott Downs will give way to the bullpen with a man at first. It's a one-run game. Jose Bautista's 26th home run of the season. That came in the 5th inning. Albert Pujols has had a big night. He has a pair of doubles and a single. He's 3 for 4. And how about Mike Trout? All he's doing is leading the American League in hitting. He's 2 for 5 tonight and hit a 2-run home run. His 8th home run of the season.
And it's not over yet. Blue Jays still have a couple shots at it here. Just to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ernesto Frieri will come on for the Angels, and if there was one trade in the first half that went unnoticed but was probably the best trade so far in the first half of the baseball season, this might be it right here. We were in Los Angeles when that trade happened.
He made his American League debut on the 5th of May against the Blue Jays, and he has yet to give up a run in the American League. J.P. Arencibi with his first pinch hit at bat of the season. Rajay Davis at first. Obviously, Fieri has been given the scattering report. Keep Davis close at first. Two outs. Davis with a huge lead. Guy drives back in easily.
Yeah, he gets back easily also. We talked about this earlier today with Pujols, the way he holds runners on. Right-handed reliever, left-handed reliever, slow guy at first base, fast guy, it doesn't matter. He is off that bag. He's going to be a moving target for that pitcher to try and throw over to. I think a little bit easier for Davis to get a running start.
Pitch out. Nothing doing. Mike Scioscia guessing with the Blue Jays and Davis.
Runner over there at first base. It doesn't hurt to look in there. Maybe you can pick up a sign from the catcher.
There goes Rajay. Nope, back to first. He didn't like his jump.
Yeah, it wasn't a good jump. Frieri quick pitched him, so he wasn't set when he put that right foot out on the carpet. Quick pitched him. That's not a very good jump, and he did the right thing. Go back to the bag.
To give you an idea how dominant Frieri has been, he's averaged 15.5 strikeouts per 9 innings since he's joined the Angels. He struck out 38 of the 85 batters he's faced. My question to you, Mr. Tabler, why did the Padres trade him?
Yeah. And why did they just get a couple of minor leaguers for him? He had those type of stats, maybe not that good when he was with San Diego. He's always had a good arm.
Davis got a great jump, and Aaron Sebia fouled it back. Rajay read it perfectly that time.
Frieri is basically fastball slider. Got a good arm. And his numbers since he has come over to the American League have been off the charts.
Ridiculous. Two and one, 2 outs. There goes Davis again. Cut on and missed, and no throw from Bobby Wilson.
I think the backswing from J.P. Arencibia might have hit Wilson. So he didn't take a chance in trying to throw that ball. Great jump again by Rajay. He'll pick up his 18th stolen base. No throw from Wilson, and now quick meeting on the mound to go over the side now with the runner at second.
Scott Downs started the inning. They retired Kerry Johnson and Yunel Escobar, and then Davis had a single. Now Rajay's at second. Strike 3 call. Ernesto Frieri has really been a godsend for the Angels bullpen. He gets another strikeout. The fastball gets J.P. Arencibia with the tying run at second. We'll go to the ninth. 8-7 Angels. place Friday, June 29th, noon to 1 o'clock at the Jay's Shop at Sears. That's Young and Dundas. Just one item per person, please. But make sure you stop by and get a Casey Janssen autograph, one of the classiest guys in all of baseball. Get a chance to say hi to Casey on Friday, June 29th at the Jay's Shop at Sears. And Casey is on to work here in the top of the ninth. It's a one-run game. It'll be Pujols, Trumbo, and Howie Kendrick, middle of the order for the Angels. And Pujols goes after the first pitch.
There are the numbers for Casey Janssen this year. They've been outstanding. Always looking for a way to improve his stuff. Always looking for a way to get an edge. He throws strikes. He keeps the ball away. Very smart on that mound.
And Francisco comes into the game defensively. He takes over in left, and Rajay Davis goes from left to right. And with that, Bautista takes over at first base for Adam Lind and was lifted for the pinch hitter. One and two to Pujols. Albert's had 3 hits tonight. He's gone 3 for 4. That's a strike on you, Mr. Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm walking back to the bench right now.
Albert Pujols has earned the benefit of those close pitches.
I don't have the numbers.
2 and 2. Breaking ball squibbed off the end of the bat and foul. Top of the ninth inning. It has been a seesaw battle back and forth all night long. Angels came into this ball game red hot with the bats, and they have kept it up. 8 runs on 12 hits for the Angels. They've hit 3 home runs tonight. Another close pitch goes in Pujols' favor.
Janssen will run that cut fastball in there. It looks like the ball's going to be off the plate, then it'll cut towards home and flip the inside corner. That's what he is looking for.
Up the middle, Kelly Johnson knocks it down, but Pujols will have his 4th hit of the night. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ryan Leslie and Ivanka Osman. So Albert Pujols with his 4th hit of the night. It's the first 4-hit game of the season for Pujols.
Just warming up.
Pujols is average now at 270. He's raised his average 10 points tonight. He's had 3 hit games and now his first 4-hit game. Mark Trumbo way outside. It's a ball on the strike. Just think back in April and May before Trout was called up. Trumbo was having trouble getting playing time. I think if you'd have knocked on the Angels' door with the right package, you could have pried Trumbo loose.
You know, and I have no idea, what the Angels were thinking back in April and May.
That ball gets away from Mathis, and Pujols will go to second.
Probably be a wild pitch from Casey Janssen, but I had no idea what they were thinking. But if you had the right package of big league players and maybe a prospect or two, you might have been able to pry him away from him.
You weren't going to get this guy, Mike Trout. And when he came up last year, and they knew they had something special with Trout. He played last year as a 19-year-old.
But there just wasn't a position for Trumbo at the beginning of the year. All spring training long, he played third base, and he just didn't look comfortable over there. His lateral movements, and the way he fielded the baseball. He's a good athlete. He looks very good in the outfield and over at first base. And he looks exceptionally well standing in that batter's box.
That's what he plays best. 1-2. Trumbo drives this ball to the gap, and that's not going to be caught all the way to the wall. Pujols jogs around third. He comes in to score. Trumbo is headed to third. Kelly Johnson's throw, not in time. Mark Trumbo with his third triple of the season. Pujols scores. It's now a 9-7 Angel lead.
That'll show you some of his athleticism right there. On a low liner to right field, and he didn't hesitate at all. Most players would have been very happy with an RBI double, but Trumbo, you see how he stays on top of that ball, short hops the wall in right field. Never slowed down, never broke stride as soon as he came out of the batter's box. I was watching him come all the way around. He realizes that ball is in right center field. He got a chance for 3.
Trumbo with 3 RBIs tonight, his third triple of the season. He has 15 doubles, 19 home runs, and now 3 triples. Infield is in. Still nobody out. Trumbo now has 37 extra base hits going into play tonight. Miguel Cabrera had 37 extra base hits. That was good for 4th in the American League. David Ortiz, when we saw him firsthand, he leads the American League with 44. Then Robinson, Cano, Josh Hamilton. Now Mark Trumbo with 37.
He's a big guy. Watching the third base coach go over there to talk to him. He looks like a mountain man.
And he grew up within shouting distance of Angel Stadium in Orange County. The Villa Park High School. Just a few miles away from the ballpark. Ground ball. Trumbo holds at third. Kendrick is retired. That's the first out of the inning.
You know who he reminds me over there at third base? He reminds me of Steve Balboni. Remember Bones? Steve Balboni, big hulking first baseman, very quiet, could hit the ball a country mile.
Trumbo is much more athletic.
Oh yeah,
but he's got the same kind of power.
Yeah. He's a better hitter all around. His batting average is going to be much better than Balboni, but the type of power that he has.
Looks like a young Mark McGuire.
Shoulders are big enough.
1 out. Roberto Callaspo's had a big night. Homer, single, struck out and walked. Now the Blue Jays infield is in, trying to save this run down at third. Seven Angels lead it. They have out hit the Blue Jays 14-10. The appeal to third base umpire is denied. Looked like he went around James Hoy at third, said no swing.
Boy, it certainly did look like he was not able to check his swing on that breaking ball from Jansen.
Casey Jansen's ahead 1-2. Swung and missed. Callejo strikes out. With 2 outs, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. I tell you what, the White Sox have been energized, and they have won 3 in a row now. The Yankees snapped their 5-game win streak, and Chicago improves to 41-36.
Dave Robertson looks like the guy who gave up that home run as he picked up the loss.
Eric Ibar, the shortstop. Ibar has a couple of hits tonight. Broken bat. Jansen gets out of the way of that barrel of the bat, and Ibar's retired. But the Angels get an insurance run here in the top half of the 9th inning. They lead 9-7. And Casey Jansen gets Ibar. He has to dance out of the way of the barrel of that bat, but the inning is over. Blue Jays trail by 2, bottom of the 9th. Blue Jay fans here at Rogers Center trying to rally the troops. They trail by 2, bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be 9-1-2 for Toronto. And the leadoff batter will be Jeff Mathis. Mathis with 3 hits tonight. He's had 1 4-hit game in his career. That came back in 2008. While he was a member of the Angels, that came against the Cleveland Indians. Had a home run and a double in that ball game as well.
Is that a triple in you, Jeff?
But he has another hit. 4 for 4 for Jeff Mathis. His second 4-hit game of his career. What a night.
No waiting around. He knows Friere wants to get ahead of him with a fastball. And he punches that ball to right field. A couple singles, a double, and a home run. And just like that, the tying run comes to the plate.
That was some stroke. And now you're getting closer to Jose Bautista. Brett Lawrie had an RBI single his last time up. Ernesto Friere came on to strike out J.P. Arancibia in the 8th inning. Bautista has already homered tonight. .95 from Friere, and Laurie's in a hole.
He comes right after you. He uses that fastball predominantly. The bullpen for the Angels have given up just 15 home runs all year. It's the best in the American League.
Or he lays off that high pitch. Frieri has worked 15 times on the road. He is not allowed to run while pitching away from Anaheim. The hit by Mathis was just the 5th hit that he's allowed this season pitching on the road. 1-2 to Laurie. Fights it off and stays alive.
That's not a small sample size either, is it? Wow.
Hitters are 1 for 2 for him tonight. Now they are 5 for 50. Facing Frieri when he's pitching on the road. Another 1-2 pitch. Laurie's battling. Top 4 in this Blue Jays lineup have been on a tear. Bautista and Encarnacion 3 and 4 in the order. Boy, you'd love to see them come to the plate, but Laurie and Rasmus have been on base all the time. Well, Laurie's having some at bat.
Yeah, he was seeing the ball off of Frieri. That was the one breaking ball that he has thrown, and he hung it up there. Each one of those top 4 that you were just talking about, each have at least 1 hit tonight.
Laurie spoiled a pretty good breaking ball. Frieri is basically a 2-pitch pitcher, as you mentioned, fastball slider. Laurie's fouled off 5 pitches in this at bat. Lined in the right, that'll get down for a base hit. Corey Hunter was deep, and Mathis moves up 90 feet. What an at bat by Brett Laurie.
Fouled off some very tough pitches from Frieri, and then got one he liked. Down and away, and it's an inside-out swing. Slashes it into right field.
An 8-pitch at bat, and he hit a good pitch. So the Blue Jays have runners at first and second. There are all kinds of meetings going on.
Yeah, the Angels want to talk about what they think the Blue Jays might do in case they try and bunt. I don't know if they're going to.
It'd be an interesting scenario if you bunted and were successful. Rasmus moves the runners up 90 feet. Bautista would probably be walking.
See ya. Yeah, you're just taking the bat right out of Jose Bautista's hand.
But is that worth the opportunity to get Encarnacion at the plate with the bases loaded?
Then you start thinking about matchups. Who do you think a better matchup is? Bautista versus Frieri or Encarnacion versus Frieri?
This is a great number right here. 361 for Rasmus. That's 4th in the American League with runners in scoring position. Let him hit.
This is a good matchup here. Fastball pitcher, fastball hitter.
Good rip by Rasmus. You mentioned aspects of hitting. Balance, timing, confidence. I think the most important aspect is confidence, and Kobe Rasmus has that right now.
He's got a clear mind, clear thoughts right now. He's not thinking about all the mechanics. He's just concentrating on that baseball and taking good swings.
95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-2. The Blue Jays have had 1 walk-off home run this year. That was Brett Laurie back in May against Texas.
Colby has turned around some pretty good fastballs lately. John Axford in Milwaukee on a pitch that was in and up. And he was able to hammer it to right field for a home run. I don't think he minds how hard it is. Pitchers that throw good fastballs.
Fouls another pitch back, having the same type of at bat that Brett Lawrie had. Brett Lawrie had an 8-pitch at bat before he singled in to right. Jeff Mack has got it going with his 4th hitter tonight. Second time in his big league career he's had 4 hits in the game. Lawrie is 2 for 5.
See the signs, so he's going to give it to him verbally. This is what I want to do. 0-2. We're going to throw this pitch. If like this, we're going to come back with this pitch. All the while knowing who's on deck.
Everybody in the ballpark knows who's on deck. We're going to do it again, another 0-2 pitch. Nobody out. Down and miss. Rasmus strikes out.
First baseman, number 19, Jose Bautista.
Well, that Angel run in the top half of the inning is looming very large here. That gave them a 2-run lead. Bautista's already had a 3-run homer tonight. Bautista's had 2 multi-home run games this season. Most recently in Milwaukee.
It looks like Frieri is saying, you know what, I'm going to reach back and throw the ball as hard as I can. If I'm going to get beat, I'm going to get beat with my best pitch. And that's a fastball.
The one thing Bautista has to focus on is that inner 3/4 of the plate. If Frieri gets it on the outside corner, lay off. Crossed him up over the breaking ball. It's 2-1. Good fastball.
Kept it away from him. He and Bobby Wilson, the catcher, just said, we have to be aggressive. Another one, 96 miles an hour with that one.
Power against power. The best head-to-head matchup in sports. Power hitter against a power pitcher. No time for tricks.
No. Again, if I'm going to get beat, I'm going to get beat with my #1 pitch, and that's his fastball. He is just reaching back with everything he has here to try and get the outs. And there's another home run hitter on deck.
Encarnacion standing by. $24,668 on hand. Full count. Breaking ball, he walked it. Wow, he gave in to him and threw him a breaking ball, and the bases are loaded. Edwin Encarnacion will come to the plate.
The first breaking ball he threw in that whole at bat. And he missed with it. Just off the plate, loading up the bases.
Mathis at third, Laurie at second, Bautista at first. Encarnacion at the plate. First pitch strike.
I think it's the same thing right here for Frieri. Reach back, give him my best pitch, which is your fastball. Keep it away from Encarnacion.
4 grand slams for his career. Trying to make it 5.
How about a gapper to left center or right center field?
Edwin has a grand slam this year. The Blue Jays have 2.
Watch this swing. Aggressive.
Oh, and 2, 1 out. Play.
Got away with one right there. He missed his spot. And Edwin fouled it back.
You can get away with mistakes when you throw 97. Bouncing ball, Ibar at second. Second for 1, back to first. Scooped by Pujols, and the game is over. Albert Pujols with a terrific scoop at first base. Bautista was all over Howie Kendrick at second. Forced Kendrick to throw the ball in the dirt, but Pujols dug it out. Albert with a 4-hit game and a good defensive play to end it.
He's a Gold Glove first baseman, and he shows why. Very underrated. That's a part of his game that doesn't get a lot of billing. But watch Bautista trying to take out Howie Kendrick with the roll slide. It almost comes through, if not for Pujols picking it on the other end.
Well, the Blue Jays rallied in the ninth, but fall short by 2. We'll be back here tomorrow night, game 2 of a 4-game series. Western Pacific, stay tuned. Boston and Seattle, Eastern Ontario, connected. Coming right up.